Very few today, huh? Everyone is absorbed. I think ceasefire हो गया. Declare तो कर दिया कि ceasefire हो गया. इंडिया ने accept कर लिया कि ceasefire हो गया. हाँ?
अभी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस था।
अच्छा. तो पाकिस्तान ने भी कर लिया? नहीं. उन्होंने हाँ?
उन्होंने कॉल करके इंडिया से
नहीं नहीं, वो तो ट्रम्प ने कराया है.
ट्रम्प ने किया, बट दे आल्सो हैड अ डिस्कशन,
अच्छा.
टेलीफोन डिस्कशन।
Good. Peaceful and preferred. We will be discussing Bhagavad Gita. This all of you have Bhagavad Gita with you. There is one verse of Bhagavad Gita which is there everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. If you see on the back side, there is this universal form. And on this universal form, what verse is written? Who can read? Any one of you who can read this verse? It is also written in Sanskrit. Pado. Kalo asmi lokshakrit praviddo. Krishna says, he declares that among all the destroyers, I am the greatest destroyer in the form of time, Kal. And you know, all this warfare which was happening, it is very interesting. See, Bhagavad Gita has given realization to so many. Amongst them is one personality from America called Robert J. Oppenheimer. नाम सुना है आप लोगों ने? Who is he? Robert J. Oppenheimer. He is the father of atom bomb. लेकिन अपने जीवन के अंतिम समय में उसको इस बात का एहसास हुआ. लिखा उन्होंने काफी. उन्होंने संस्कृत सीखी. बताइए, अमेरिकन हो गए. हम लोग तो श्लोक पढ़ते नहीं, सोचते हैं कि कहाँ ये संस्कृत के क्यों पढ़े हम. Oppenheimer studied Bhagavad Gita and he learned Sanskrit. And later he realized what a big mistake he did for the humanity. And how that inspiration came when he read his Bhagavad Gita. Because this bombs, what they do, only destruction. So he realized after reading the 11th chapter that it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who comes in the form of Kal, as death personified. Okay, so we will study this book. We are studying the 8th chapter. Last time we discussed everyone is trying to conquer outside, but the real conquest is to be able to win this war of death. अभी चश्मा लाना भूल गए क्या? अच्छा, कोई बात नहीं, आप सुनिए. अर्जुन ने तो पढ़ी नहीं, सुनी. और अर्जुन ने तो केवल एक बार सुनी और उनको साक्षात्कार हो गया. हाँ, लेकिन हम तो कई बार सुनते हैं, लेकिन तब भी हम पकड़ नहीं पा रहे गीता का संदेश. लेकिन फिर भी प्रयास करें. हाँ, जब तक नहीं पकड़ पाए तब तक प्रयास करेंगे. We will study the 8th chapter, and we have almost on the midway of the 8th chapter. We completed first 14 verse. So this chapter is speaking that how one can come to the point where he can conquer death. That is the greatest achievement in this world. Is there any achievement as compared to the achievement to conquer death? Everyone is helpless. अभी देखा हमने, सारे लोग डरे हुए थे. क्यों डर रहे थे? डर का एक ही कारण. क्या कारण? Death. What is the greatest fear in this material existence? Is death. But Krishna is giving this knowledge. Krishna is giving this process in Bhagavad Gita, how one can win and conquer death. Very simply. Last time we discussed the easy process. What is the easy process? Anyone remembers the easy process? Huh? Yeah, to remember Krishna. To remember Krishna. Ananya cheta satatam yo mam smarati nityasha. The one who is practicing entire life, then he can perfect. So our life is a preparation. The entire life is a preparation for final examination, which is called death. So how we will excel at the time of death? When we practice throughout our life. It is not going to happen by any stroke of fluke or luck. So another name of Bhakti Yoga is Abhyasa. कृष्ण थे अभ्यास योग युक्ते ना, थोड़ा आगे आ जाइए प्रभु, थोड़ा आगे आ जाइए, आगे आ जाओ। तो अभी हमारे पास फ्रेश काम है, जब तक आपका वो टीवी रूम ठीक नहीं होता तब तक तो हमको इसी में फिट करना पड़ेगा। थोड़ी आगे आपको इसलिए बैठना पड़ेगा, जो बाद में आएंगे वो पीछे बैठ पाएंगे, नहीं तो फिर वो बाहर से चले जाएंगे, सोचेंगे स्पेस नहीं है, देयर इज नो स्पेस। तो अभ्यास योग युक्ते ना, भगवान ने बताया कि अभ्यास योग। सो इन दिस सेक्शन व्हाट वी हैव जस्ट टू रिकैप, आपको कनेक्ट करने के लिए, तो भगवत गीता इज स्पोकन ऑन द बैटलफील्ड between two friends, and what was the situation? The war was imminent. तो अर्जुन के जो प्रश्न थे या उनकी शंकाएं थे, उनको दूर करने के लिए भगवान ने भगवत गीता बोला। इट वाज जस्ट अ कन्वर्सेशन ऑफ 45 मिनट्स। 45 मिनट्स में ये सारा एक्सचेंज हो गया। हाँ। और अर्जुन उसी कन्वर्सेशन से उनको रियलाइजेशन भी हो गया। उन्होंने बोला नष्ट मोहा स्मृति लब्ध्वा तत्प्रसादात् मया अच्युत, what my illusion has been dispelled। बट हम ये नहीं बोल पाते कि हमारा इल्यूजन डिस्पेल हो गया है। तो जब तक इल्यूजन डिस्पेल नहीं होगा, वी हैव टू प्रैक्टिस। तो व्यासदेव later he divided the Bhagavad Gita and presented it in the 18 chapters and he scripted it. Why he has to script? Because in Kali Yuga people have very short memory। हमने 10 दिन पहले क्या सुना था, क्या हमें याद है? कुछ नहीं याद। तो उन्होंने इसको स्क्रिप्ट के फॉर्म में दिया, महाभारत में प्रेजेंट किया, और he divided it into 18 chapters। Bhagavad Gita is presented in the sets of 3, each is having 6 chapters। पहले 6 chapter is talking about actions, karma। So how to achieve perfection? By performing action। So it is termed in one word. If you remember one word, through that one word you can remember the first 6 chapter। And what is that one word? Duty। Duty। What one has to perform is duty। If one performs his duty, then one can achieve perfection। One has to be a karma yogi। Karma is binding। Karma binds। Krishna says, what is the verse? Jagyarthat karmano anyatra loko ayam karma bandhana। The action itself will bring reactions and bondage। So what one has to perform? One has to perform yajna, when one actions become sacrifice। So that action is liberating। So the first 6 chapters talks about performing the action as performance of one's duty। So dutiful actions becomes yajna, sacrifice। Sacrifice is liberating। And in the middle 6 chapters, from 7 to 12, Krishna is presenting devotion। Devotion, which is higher than duty। And in the last 6 chapters, Krishna is speaking about knowledge। Why? Because why knowledge is required? Because with knowledge, one becomes detached। Otherwise, you see so much attachment is there. Why the living entity is suffering in this material world? Because of only one reason, and that is his attachment। Attachment to what? That is temporary। An illusion of not knowing what is temporary and what is permanent। So in ignorance, one is attached, but in knowledge, one is detached। So Krishna speaks about the knowledge। So the first 6 chapters are called Karma Yoga, leading to Bhakti. Middle 6 chapter is Bhakti Yoga, and the final 6 chapter is Jnana Yoga, leading to. By duty, one can come to devotion, and by knowledge also one can come to devotion by detachment। The purpose is to become a devotee of Krishna। That is the purpose of speaking Bhagavad Gita। So that is why Bhakti Yoga is in between। One devotee very nicely explained, like you eat sandwich। In sandwich, what is the most important thing? Is the middle layer। अगर सैंडविच में चीज होता है, चीज का कंटेंट कितना होता है एज कंपेयर टू ब्रेड? हाँ, 10%। But it is not called bread sandwich, it is called चीज सैंडविच। अगर उसके अंदर वेजिटेबल्स डाली है तो यू विल कॉल वेजिटेबल। ब्रेड को कौन पूछता है? तो सिमिलरली एक्शन, कर्मा एंड ज्ञाना without devotion is useless. What gives value to both is devotion. This is the important. So we are discussing the 8th chapter, which is the chapter of devotion. And here Krishna is explaining how one can achieve perfection, paramam gati, siddhim. Siddhim means perfection. So in the last session, we discussed that one who is remembering Krishna. How to remember Krishna? By working for him, simply carrying out his order. Very simple. And doing what he has prescribed for us. Then if one leads his life in such a way, one follows the guidelines given by Krishna, one molds his life in such a way that he leads the Krishna conscious life, then we are all interested to know what is the result, what is the outcome. That Krishna will explain in today's verse. Very beautiful. 8.15. That those who are following the path of Krishna, what he is recommending, so what is their destination? Or what is their goal? Or what do they achieve? 8.15. मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम्
दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम्
नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः
नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः
संसिद्धिं परमां गतः
संसिद्धि परमं गतः
मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम्
दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम्
नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः
नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः
संसिद्धिं परमां गतः मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म अशाश्वतम् नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गतः। रिसाइट, आप में से जो सब रिसाइट कर सकते हैं, पढ़िए, बोलिए।
पुनर्जन्म
मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
शाश्वतम्
दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम्
आत्माना
नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धि परमं गतः। बस
मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
दुःखालय अशाश्वतम्
दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम् नाप्नुवन्ति नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः
संसिद्धिं
परमं
संसिद्धिं परमं गतम्
संसिद्धि परमं गतः। देखो कहाँ से पढ़ना है। आप अगर इंग्लिश से पढ़ोगे ना, क्योंकि हमको संस्कृत का ज्ञान है नहीं, हम ओपन हैमर भी नहीं है, ना तो हम एटम बम बना सकते, ना संस्कृत पढ़ सकते हैं। हमारी स्थिति बहुत ही प्रिकैरियस है। हम समझते हैं कि हम बहुत आउटस्मार्ट करते हैं, लेकिन वास्तव में हम कहीं भी नहीं स्टैंड करते। तो ये यहाँ प्रभुपाद जी ने बड़ी कृपा की है, उन्होंने संस्कृत को इंग्लिश में प्रेजेंट कर दिया। यहाँ देखो, यहाँ से, और वर्ड जब मैं बोलता हूँ तो वर्ड में नहीं बोलता। हाँ, अभी समस्या क्या है ना कि हमारा फोकस करना का जो पॉइंट है या अभ्यास है वो है नहीं। तो जब हम श्लोक पढ़ते हैं तो आपको वर्ड मीनिंग देख लेना चाहिए। अगर आप वर्ड मीनिंग देख लेंगे तो इसके अंदर जो ये डिफिकल्ट पार्ट है ना, जो कठिनता है, वो क्या हो जाएगा, सुलभ हो जाएगा। अभी भगवान ने बताया तस्या हम सुलभ पार्थ, इजी हो जाएगा। देखो यहाँ पढ़ो, माम उपेत्य पुनः जन्म दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतम् ना आपनुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गतः। ठीक है, सुनो, यही अभ्यास करना है कि अपने माइंड को जब हम भगवत गीता सुन रहे हैं तो उसको सुनाना है। वो आपको क्या करेगा, बार बार इस क्लास से बाहर निकल सकते हो, लेकिन आपको क्या करना है, उसको वापस खींच के यहाँ सुना। इसीलिए इससे आपका जो फोकस करने का मेडिटेशन है वो शुरू हो जाएगा। अभी आज की लाइफ में सबसे बड़ा ट्रबल क्या है? डिस्ट्रैक्शन। हर 30 सेकंड में डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाते हैं और वापस आने में 3 मिनट लगते हैं। बताइए कैसे काम करें? हर 30 सेकंड में डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाते हैं, वापस आने में 3 मिनट लगते हैं। तो कितना हमारी यूटिलिटी है, क्या टाइम यूटिलाइज करते हैं और क्या रिजल्ट आएगा और क्या आउटपुट आएगा। इसलिए चैंट करना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि जो मन की अस्थिरता है, जो उसका फ्लिकरिंग नेचर है, उसको हम अपने प्रयास से कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते। इसके लिए क्या चाहिए? हमें हायर अथॉरिटीज का हेल्प चाहिए। और सबसे हाईएस्ट अथॉरिटी कौन है? कृष्णा। बहुत ही सुंदर श्लोक है। भगवान क्या बोल रहे हैं? मामु उपेत्य। उपेत्य मीन्स आफ्टर रीचिंग मी और आफ्टर अटेनिंग मी। पुनर्जन्म, तो क्या हो जाएगा? अभी जैसे बताया ना, तस्याहम सुलभ पार्थ, he will achieve me easily. So what will be the result of achieving him easily? That after reaching me, punarjanma, there is no question of any rebirth. क्योंकि बर्थ का मतलब क्या हुआ? एक के साथ तीन फ्री। क्या बर्थ के साथ क्या फ्री मिलेगा? हाँ, ओल्ड एज, डिजीज और डेथ। मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा? जिसको भी जन्म मिलेगा, हाँ, जातस्य ध्रुव जन्म, हाँ, ध्रुव मृत्युश्च। डेट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के साथ कौन सी डेट हो जाती है? एक्सपायरी। याद रखना, है ना। इसलिए बर्थडे जो बनाते हैं उनसे बड़ा मूर्ख कोई नहीं है। आज हमारे दयाशील प्रभु का बर्थडे है, उनको विश करेंगे। हाँ, इससे पता चलता है कि लोग कितने इग्नोरेंस में हैं, क्योंकि डेट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को आपको क्या याद करना चाहिए? डेट ऑफ एक्सपायरी आने वाली है। 1 साल आप और क्या हो गए? पास हो गए। करता है कोई याद? खाली वेस्टर्न लोगों की जो नकल है उसको करते रहते हैं। कोई भी प्रोडक्ट जो मैन्युफैक्चर होता है या इस कंसेप्शन में आता है, तो जिस दिन वो मैन्युफैक्चर होता है उसी दिन उसकी क्या निर्धारित हो जाती है? एक्सपायरी। तो भगवान क्या कह रहे हैं? मेरे पास आओगे तो एक्सपायरी और बर्थ दोनों डिलीट कर दो। नो मोर बर्थ एंड नो मोर डेथ। टर्मिनेट हो गया। मां उपेत्य पुनर्जन्म, नो नो रिबर्थ। दूसरा एडवांटेज, दुखालयम अशाश्वतम। आपको इधर वापस नहीं आना पड़ेगा। कहाँ? इस जगत में। और ये जगत क्या है? भगवान यहाँ डिफाइन कर रहे हैं, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। हर आदमी क्या सोच रहा है कि ये जो जगत है वो उसके सुख के लिए। Here he can become happy, he can enjoy, he can utilize it for his own pleasure. But Krishna is saying, no, this is a place of suffering. This is dukhalaya. Ale means place. Pustakale. In Pustakale, what you will find? Books. So this is dukhalaya. So coming in this place, what you will find? Miseries and suffering. It is for everyone. No one is excepted. Why? Because this place is ashashvatam. Ashashvatam means it is temporary. It's temporary. That which is temporary, that which is transient, that which is ever changing, you can never experience any happiness. Suffering itself. And he says, Napnuvanti Mahatmana. So, Na Apnuvanti. Apnuvanti means come back. Or they achieve what? Never, they never come back. They never come back. Such persons are not everyone. Those who are Mahatma. Atma, everyone is an Atma, but these are Mahatma, whose Atmas are highly advanced. Highly advanced. And what they achieve? Some Siddhim. Siddhi is perfection. And what kind of perfection? Paramam, highest perfection. So this is the purpose and point of our practice of Krishna consciousness. This should be the goal of our life. Our goal of life should not be degree, post, position, bank balance. That will all be lost. At the time of death, what will happen? Everything will be taken away. But here Krishna is saying that if you practice the process which I have given you, then you can attain me. अब उसको बोलते मैं बाहर पढ़ने से बाहर हूँ, वो मेरे लिए दूध लेके आते हैं. So after attaining me, see the translation. After attaining me, the growth souls who are yogis in devotion, not all yogis, because previously Krishna was speaking about what kind of yogis we discussed in the verses from 9 till 13. What kind of yogis? What kind of yogis? No. Krishna spoke about what kind of yogis? From 9th till 13th. 9 till 13, what kind of yogi Krishna spoke about? Online? Bolo, Purushottam? What kind of yogis Krishna spoke about? Whose mobile is this? Quickly, answer. We are hearing, na? We are discussing. We are going very slow, gradually. What kind of yogis Krishna was speaking about? Manoram?
Prabhuji, they are Ashtanga yogis.
Yes, these are those who are yoga balena chaiva, Ashtanga yogis. Those who are practicing the mystical path. And what they are doing? They are practicing very difficult sarvadvarani sanyamya. That they are shutting all their doors. What are the doors? Two eyes. Can we shut the eyes? Can we stop seeing? Can we stop hearing? Can we stop smelling? Can we stop tasting? No. Yeah. So that was the difficult process that Krishna spoke. The meditative process. But now Krishna is giving the easy process. So then he is saying, who will come? Those yogis who are in devotion. That is what Srila Prabhupada is writing. After attaining with the great souls. Great souls are Mahatmana. Previously Krishna has spoken about Mahatmana. Where he spoke about Mahatma? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks about Mahatma in few places. Who is a Mahatma? Prabhupada says one cannot become a Mahatma by rubber stamp. One of the Mahatma we are still suffering. Two different countries, two different culture, two different religions, then why there is fight? Prabhupada says you cannot make a Mahatma by rubber stamp. Somebody says he is a Mahatma. No. You have to accept Mahatma on the basis of what Krishna is speaking as the Mahatma. Who is a Mahatma? Ramya? Who is a Mahatma?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी महात्मानां यन्पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृति आश्रित.
Yes. One who is under the shelter of my divine. That means in his life he has no illusion. What is the illusion? We think we are this body. Don't we think? Do we know anything beyond the body? We have no experience. And Mahatma is one who is Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvan Mam Prapadyate. Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudhulava. The one who has surrendered to Krishna is a Mahatma. One who has surrendered to Krishna, because he has surrendered to Krishna, he is Devim Prakriti Mahashrita. He is under the influence of the divine energy. Otherwise, everyone is under the influence of the illusionary energy. What is the illusionary energy? It makes us realize that we are not soul, we are body. So those who are great souls, Mahatmana, they never return to this temporary world. Why? Because they attain the spiritual world, which is full of miseries. Because they have attained the highest perfection. So Bhagavad Gita gives us the hint that this place is the place. It gives us a clear declaration that this place, till the time you live, till the time you breathe here, what is inevitable with you? Miseries. Because it is a place of dukkha alayam. And this is the creator who has created this world, he's confirming. But the problem with us is we are all thinking, "Hum honge kamyab ek din." I will reverse it. Yeah, you will lose your life and the opportunity. And by the time you realize, life will be over. Okay. So we will say a prayer before going. Yeah. Normally we cannot approach Bhagavad Gita by our intelligence because our intelligence is very, very weak. It has no potential to go beyond matter. And Krishna is speaking about the spiritual fact. So how we can access spirituality with matter? Only through the mercy. So you have these prayers with you. Yeah. Normally we say before, but we say now. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sadivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tabda Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine. Hare Krishna. So here we see in this section, in this verse, Krishna is clearly declaring openly, he is giving invitation to all of us, to every one of us. How to conquer death? By attaining. If we add Krishna in our life, then what we do? We terminate death from our life. Option is ours. What we want. Do we want to be like all others who will die helplessly? Or we want to win over death? And till the time you exist in this world, what will be your constant companion? Dukkhale. You may attempt and endeavor or imagine whatever, but what will be the ultimate result is dukkha. So please come, Prachi. Come, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You can sit on the chair. Sit. The chair is there for you. Hare Krishna. Please come, Murli Dharaji. Please place one more chair. So, this is the inevitable fact. People give us all types of imaginations. Yeah. But no one gives this reality check. 8.15. We are on 8.15. That if we are without Krishna, then this world is a place of suffering. If we add Krishna, then we can conquer this world and go beyond suffering. And what we can experience? We can experience real joy and bliss. Okay? we will discuss the purport. Since this temporary material world is full of miseries. So what are the miseries? One may say, what misery? You may be miserable, but I am pleasurable. I am enjoying life. But whoever may be, in whatever phase of life, he has to undergo these four things. These are actually the problems of human existence. What is birth from? We all know that the child has to remain for 9 months in the womb of the mother. Can you imagine? आपको 9 महीने इस रूम में लॉक कर दिया जाए. How will you feel? Can you stay? रुक सकते हैं क्या? रह सकते हैं? कितना पेनफुल होगा. और बच्चा कैसे होता है? अपसाइड डाउन है ना. इसका श्रीमद् भागवतम में there is a great description of how the child in the womb, he is so much in a suffering state and he cries profusely because he is so discomforted. Just imagine, तो इस रूम में एसी भी लगा दें तो भी आप इस रूम में नहीं रह पाएंगे. Then old age. Old age is also very, very painful. When your limbs of the body do not function, you are completely dependent on others. Then when you are diseased, before old age, we have so many rounds of diseases and finally death. So these are actually Bhagavad Gita speaks. When we will come to the 13th chapter, Krishna will speak that this is what the purpose of human life is, to find the solution for all these four problems or miseries: birth, old age, disease, and death. And everyone who is existing in this material world, there are 3 types of miseries that everyone experiences. Even from a beggar in the street to the President of the United States. It is common. Is it all common for not? Birth, old age, disease, and death. Is it common or not? It's common for everyone, whoever he may be. And everyone also has to experience 3 types of sufferings additionally. What is it called? It is called Adi Devik. Adi Devik means the suffering which are coming from the higher authorities, like the demigods. What is Adi Devik? These sudden changes, like extreme summer. Everyone has to suffer. Extreme cold, or there is excess rain, or there is drought, famine, or earthquake, or volcanic eruption. So many natural calamities. So many natural calamities come. So everyone has to bear it. So it is. Do we ever aspire for it? Does anyone desire it? But can we prevent? This is called Adi Devi. The controllers, the demigods. From there it is inflicted upon us. Then there is Adi Bhautik. Adi Bhautik means it is coming from different living entities. Like you are peacefully sleeping in the night, and what comes? A mosquito comes and he tries to circulate around your ear. And what he does? He disturbs your sleep. Have you done anything to the mosquito? Nothing. Now what can you do? If you kill one, there are so many more. In the same way, you are going in the car, somebody comes and bangs your car from the back. So, miseries which are created by other living entities. Like these tourists went to Pahalgam and they were killed by other people. One more thing is there will be a lesson to learn. Because this is Dukhalem. Those people are foolish. They are thinking they can go to Pahalgam and enjoy. Can anyone enjoy? No. So very important, because we do not have the knowledge what we are trying to find happiness in the empty husk. If you beat the empty husk million times, can you get the bite grain? No. The grain is already out of it. So this is called Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik, which is inflicted by the demigods, like natural calamities, disasters. What we have a disaster management team. Like so many messages are coming to me from the disaster management team. What you should do when a nuclear bomb is done, or how you should, conduct yourself to prevent from the radiation. And then there is Adi Devik is there and Adi Bhautik is there. But the maximum suffering comes from Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika means from one's own mind. We do not suffer from others. The greatest suffering is inflicted to us by our mind, by our contaminated mind. I can give you one small reality check. Whatever apprehensions or whatever fears that we have in our mind, how many of it come true in our life? How much percentage? How much percentage? कितना जो हमारे हृदय में हमारे मन में जितना भी भय है उसमें से हमारे जीवन में कितना प्रकट होता है? कितना परसेंट? हाँ? How much? Not even 10%. Not even 10%. So what is the most prominent cause of our suffering? Our contaminated mind. And can you cure it? What is today's word? It's called negative thing. Negative. Think positive. But by thinking positive, can you change it? No. What do you have to change? You have to change the conception. Bhagavad Gita gives us the knowledge how we can change the conception. Like you are all agricultural scientists. Unless and until you change the seed from the mango tree, you can never get pineapple. Even you cut, every time you cut the tree, next time still what you will get? You will only get mango from a mango. And you will get only pineapple from a pineapple tree. So unless and until this conception is clear that this world is a place of suffering, nothing will change. Again and again, what we will try to find some happiness here. I'll give you one example. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, he told one story that in this season, this is the prime mango season. Yeah. So in the mango season, the boys used to play, and where is the most playing sporting part is where there is water in the pond. So there was a mango tree, and in the mango tree, there were big mangoes ripe, and it was on the shore of the pond. And when the boys would look in the water, where will they find mango? Inside the water. Because the reflection of mango, which is there on top of the tree, it is swimming inside the water. So when they saw the juicy mangoes inside the water, what the boys did? The boys jumped to find the mango. But however he searched, can he find the mango? No. So after a lot of search and effort, and he came out. So the other boy asked him, "Did you taste the mango?" He said, "Yes. It is very tasty. You must dig and get it." So they were doing it, and everyone was getting. What was the result? Frustration. Frustration. Only frustration. So this is what everyone is doing in this world. Why? Because they do not know that this place is okay. So Krishna is talking about the miseries of this world, which is birth, old age, disease, and death, and Adi Devik. Adi Devik is which is coming from the demigods, the natural calamities, where we have no control. Can we have any control? No. We have to suffer. Then Adi Bhautik. It is coming from other living entities, terrorists, so many. Insect. So many other living. We have many times we said, what have I done to you? Why you are doing this to me? Yeah. Even in relationships. Relationship, what is the greatest trouble? The other person is giving me so much of trouble. Why? Because everyone wants to control. In every relationship, where is the difficulty? The difficulty is of control, isn't it? The husband is trying to control the wife is trying to control the husband. Isn't it? The boss is trying to control the subordinate is trying to control the boss, and the customer is trying to control the vendor is trying to control the customer. So where is the conflict? The conflict is in control. So because of controlling, there is always conflict. And in conflict, what one will experience? Miseries. So this place, if you analyze, if you have a little bit of application of intelligence, you can easily detect. So this place is a place of suffering. Everyone is suffering. There is no one in this world who can say he is without suffering. But the point is, one is in ignorance. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj gave another example. Classic example. If you take a buffalo or a cow to a slaughterhouse, where the cows and buffaloes are being slaughtered, very sorry to say, but still it is happening. And if you give the cow or buffalo the grass, where will it be busy? He knows that the next number is his. But is he going to run away from there? Where he will be absorbed? In eating the grass. Same for all of us. Don't we know? That our time of D-Day, the day of death is already declared. It is going to be declared. It is already decided. But do we ever think about it? Do we ever think about it? We live as if we will never die. Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. When the Yaksha asked Maharaj Yudhishthir that what is the greatest wonder of this world? People say, what is the greatest wonder of this world? Eiffel Tower or Leaning Tower or Great Wall of China. No, these are not wonders. These are all blunders. What is the wonder? Yudhishthir Maharaj told there is the greatest wonder that ahani ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. That one can see that the others, everyone is gradually going to the abode of Yamaraj. Shesh sthavara ikshanti. But those who are still living, what is their hope? What is their desire? Shesh sthavara ikshanti. Kim ashcharyam atha param. They are thinking as if they will never die. So what can be a bigger surprise or a bigger wonder than this blunder? When they can see all others dying, but still they are thinking as if they will live for. So what is the reason for this? Ignorance. Ignorance and absorption. Where is the absorption? The absorption is in unreal. So Bhagavad Gita shifts our absorption from temporary to eternal. So here Krishna Prabhupada is speaking that naturally he who achieves the highest perfection and attains the supreme planet Krishnalok Golok Vrindavan does not wish to return. The supreme planet is described in the Vedic literature as avyakta. Vyakta means which can be described. So what we can describe? What we have experienced. But that which is avyakta, that which is unmanifest. Unmanifest is avyakta is also unmanifest. So what is not manifest? Anything which is spiritual is not manifest to us because we have material senses. We have material conceptions. Our self is the soul, but can we experience it? We don't experience it. Do we experience in the entire life? दिक्कत हो रही है तो आप चेयर पे बैठ जाइए. हाँ, हमारे पास ऊपर एक प्लेस है लेकिन वो टूट गई है. अभी हम सब बॉर्डर साहब के पीछे लगे हैं. बॉर्डर साहब से फिर डायरेक्टर साहब के पास रिक्वेस्ट जाएगी. वो अगर रिपेयर हो जाएगा तो हम क्लास वहीं करते हैं. तो हम बैठने के लिए अच्छी जगह है, एसी भी है. तो ये बता रहे हैं कि दैट इज प्लेस इज अव्यक्ता. अव्यक्ता मीन्स विच इज बियॉन्ड आवर डिस्क्रिप्शन एंड इट इज अक्षरा. Shara means which will terminate and akshara means which cannot terminate. So we say akshay tritiya. Shay means which will terminate. Iska end hoga. And akshara and akshay means which cannot terminate. And param gatim. In other words, the planet is beyond our material vision. हम देख नहीं सकते. And it is inexplicable. but it is the highest goal. Many times people say seeing is believing. Huh? Can anyone show me his brain? Can anyone show me his brain? Even by MRI or anywhere. What this is the brain portion, this is the size, this is the nomenclature. Science cannot reach to that level. Where is the brain? People think it is in the head. No. The intelligence is in the heart. All mind, intelligence, and false ego. It is all where the heart is. And in the heart there is the soul and the super soul. So if seeing is believing, then we are brainless. The Prabhupada is saying this is beyond our material vision and it is inexplicable. But it is the highest goal, the destination for the Mahatmas. The Mahatmas receive transcendental message from the realized devotee. This is very important. So how to become a Mahatma? Prabhupada is explaining here. When they receive transcendental messages from the realized devotee. Who is the realized devotee here? Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya, he is the realized devotee. And who is giving this transcendental message? This purport we are studying from his realizations. So how is the Mahatma receives transcendental message from the realized devotee. We do not take messages from those who are not realized. What others are speaking, they don't have any realization. So we don't give much importance to that. And thus gradually develop devotional service in Krishna consciousness. So two aspects are very important. One is devotional service and the other is Krishna consciousness. You will always see, Prabhupada will explain about these two terms together. That what it means to be Krishna conscious. In simple terms, to know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we also, although we are not supreme, we are insignificant, but although we are insignificant, we have a significant relationship and connection with Krishna. So what we should do? We should accept the authority of Krishna. To the extent we accept the authority of Krishna, to that extent we are becoming Krishna conscious. Otherwise, what we are? Either we are self-conscious, or we are body conscious, or we are having worldly consciousness. What is worldly consciousness? This world is meant to enjoy. And what is Krishna consciousness? This world is a place of suffering. So don't try to enjoy. Try to get out of it. Okay? So one who is becoming Krishna conscious, what he will do? He will do devotional service. Devotional service means what? He tries to serve Krishna. Who will serve Krishna? Who is Krishna conscious? If you are not Krishna conscious, then there is no question of performing devotional service. To the extent we become Krishna conscious, to that extent we can perform devotional service. To the extent we perform devotional service, to that extent our Krishna consciousness deepens. So there is no end to it. To become Krishna conscious and to perform devotional service. So Prabhupada is explaining here that if you receive the transcendental message from the realized devotee and gradually develop devotional service. So today what is the transcendental message that we have received? That this place is a place of suffering. So don't try. If we try, what will be the result? The result will be only one: frustration. That is why as we say we are advancing, where are we advancing? That the mental related diseases are becoming prominent. Today the physical diseases are not so lethal. To the extent the disease is because of the... Why so? Because we are not accepting the message of Krishna. We have our own conception. And today's world, you see, everyone is very independent mentality. Independent mentality means whatever is his opinion, he thinks that is right, and he will only go by that opinion. He will not accept any other opinion. Then what he has to do? Then he has to suffer. What is an intelligent person? Prabhupada said, the intelligent person is one who learns from others' experience. We know that poison will kill. Will we say that, no, let me first put a check whether it will kill or not? That we will not do. The hypocrisy is very deep rooted. Where we know where we are going to get disadvantage, we are not interested. But where our mind says, here you can make some advantage, where then we don't accept, then we reject. How many of you accept that this place is a place of suffering? Do an exercise. Because our mind is very stubborn. Krishna has already spoken about it. What did Arjuna say? Chanchala hi mana Krishna, Pramathi balvad dridam. It is Pramathi. Pramathi means obstinate. Obstinate पता है किसे कहते हैं? जिद्दी. जैसे बच्चा होता है, बच्चे को आप चेंज कर सकते हो? वो जिद पकड़ लिया है. He will not change. He will make everyone else change. They have to all. Everyone has to agree because he will start crying. So ऐसे ही हमारा mind है. So do one exercise. In your experience, how you feel that this world is a place of suffering. So please do that exercise, rigorous exercise. Based on birth, death, old age and disease, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik and Adi Atmik. So that is how our understanding and realization will come. Otherwise it will not come. आप इस क्लास के बाहर जाओगे, फिर बाहर कुछ देखेगा, जैसे ही सेंसेस सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट डिटेक्ट करेंगे, सेंसेस क्या बोलेंगी? This is the place of enjoyment. बढ़िया आइसक्रीम खा रहे हैं, कहाँ सफरिंग है? बाहर गए, आपको आइसक्रीम का वेंडर मिला, उसको आपने रोका, आपने आइसक्रीम खाया, बोले प्रभु जी कह रहे हैं यहाँ सफरिंग है, मैं तो एंजॉय कर रहा हूँ. वो सफर कर रहे होंगे, मैं तो एंजॉय कर रहा हूँ. So please do this exercise. If you will do it gradually, this is what will happen. We can become a Mahatma. Why? Because we will start receiving the transcendental message. The problem with us is even if we come, पहले तो बहुत कम लोग आएंगे, आएंगे नहीं. अगर आ भी गए तो क्या होगा? हमारा ट्रांसमीटर बंद होगा. तो ये ट्रांसजेंडरल मैसेज क्या है? उधर रजिस्टर ही नहीं होगा. जिनसे एक्सरसाइज करना बहुत जरूरी है. एक्सरसाइज करेंगे तो क्या है? वी विल हैव टू गिव लॉट ऑफ trouble to our mind to think. They no longer desire elevation to any material planets. Everyone is desiring to go to Swargalok. Why? Why to go to Swargalok? Because they can enjoy. If you see the philosophy of some other religion, what is the philosophy of the other religion? That they will get the opportunity to enjoy. How many? 72. 72 times better. And then I and Amogila Prabhu were having a discussion. So he was telling me that their entire philosophy is that if you follow their religion, you will get an opportunity to go in a place where you can have 72 goods to enjoy. Now what about female? Okay, males can enjoy, but what about female? Half population is male, half is female. What about females? Nothing is. See, what a complete ignorance. So much ignorance is there. How we can enjoy? Krishna is giving here in Bhagavad Gita if we perform devotional service. And devotional service begins by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But how many of are we chanting? Our mind says no, never, can't. Prabhupada says chant, and the mind says can't. We cannot chant. So gradually develop devotional service. To what extent we will develop devotional service? To the extent we receive the transcendental message, to the extent we become Krishna conscious. It's very science. To the effect there is cause, there will be effect. Effect will not come otherwise. What has to change? Our conception has to change. How the conception will change? When we receive the transcendental message. They no longer desire elevation to any of the material planets, nor do they want to be transferred to any spiritual planet. They only want Krishna and Krishna's association and nothing else. That is the highest perfection of life. This is what Vrindavan is. Vrindavan means where everyone is convinced by serving Krishna, he is happy. Just Prabhupada gives an example. Like the entire body needs energy, but what is the source of energy? Is the abdomen. Hmm. So what we do? Whatever food comes, where we put the food? In the mouth. Isn't it? The hand does not say that I have worked the most. Why should I give the food to the mouth? Because it is, if the mouth is fed, the abdomen will generate energy which will reach the entire body. Like you all are scientists, where the watering has to be done? Only the root. We are very much fascinated by the fruit. We want the fruit or we want the flower from the tree. But do we go and water the flower and the fruit? No. By watering the flower and the fruit, the tree will die and there will not be any flower. It has to be watered in the root. So knowledge means knowing the root, and devotion means watering the root. So if we please Krishna, although we are in this Dukhalayam, if we connect to Krishna, then we can become happy. So that is why Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. That is the only way. That is the only solution. This verse specifically mentions that the personal devotees of the Supreme Lord Krishna, these devotees in Krishna consciousness achieve the highest perfection of life. In other words, they are the Supreme Soul. Okay. Should I take one more verse? Because this is a sequel. What is the time? Yeah, should I have 10 minutes? I'll try to wrap up 10 minutes. At least 2 verses. नहीं तो भगवद गीता होगी अपने आप तो पढ़ेंगे नहीं, मुश्किल है, बहुत मुश्किल है। ब्रह्म पुनरावर्तिनो अर्जुना
पुनरावृत्तिनो अर्जुना
मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय
मामुपेत्य कौन्तेय
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते
ब्रह्म भुवना लोकवर्तिनो अर्जुना
पुनरावृत्तिनो अर्जुना
मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय
मामुपेत्य कौन्तेय
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते.
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते.
So Krishna is confirming what he has said before, and when he started this chapter, he said, Yam yam vapi smaranam bhavam tajjante antkalevaram yab tam tam eveti kaunteya sada tad bhava. So at the time of death, whatever state one remembers, puts his body, that state he will attain without fail. So here is confirmed that in this material world, there are how many planets? 14 planetary systems. And the topmost planet is the Brahma Lok. So even if you attain the highest planet of this material world, which is the Brahma Lok or called the Satya Lok, even if you become the President of United States, so-called most powerful person, what is the result? Brahma Bhuvana Lokaha. Even if you achieve the highest Lokaha, Punaravartino Arjuna, what you have to do? You have to come back. Where? To Khalyam Ashashwata. In the childhood, you were playing this game of snake and ladder. खेला है नहीं खेला है? खेला है आपकी डॉटर ने? सुन रही है? सांप सीढ़ी खेला है? Snake and ladder खेला है नहीं खेला है? Snake and ladder खेला है? Even if you go to 99, what will happen? There is a big takshak there. It will bite you. And again, you are thrown down again to the single digit. So even if you go, this is telling Arjuna, what is this? This is not success, my dear. Even if you go to the highest planet, what will be the result? You will be thrown back again. Where? From where you started. Where? Ground zero. But Mamu Petya tu kaunte? But having attained me, Punar Janmana, again he is confirming. Why he has to confirm so many times? Because Kali Yuga Jiva, they are very, very suspicious. They have no faith in Krishna. Where they have faith in their own conception. Already he has said, some siddhim param. But again he is repeating that पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मना. He said ma upetya punarjanma. But again he is speaking. Why is speaking? To emphasize this point. That my dear, if you don't attain me, everything else is a path, is useless. You will have to come back and suffer again. Okay. So quickly, from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest planet, all are the places of misery wherein repeated birth and death takes place. So this is constant. You be in, like example is given, chain. Someone will say that I am suffering because I am chained by the iron. But can a person who is chained by the gold, is he not suffering? Suffering is there. So the higher planets, the lifetime is prolonged, but ultimately there is death. So that is what Krishna is saying, that from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest are the places of misery wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth. So of all kind of yogis, karma, jnana, hatha, etc. So Krishna has spoken about karma yoga. Which chapters? Third chapter, fifth chapter. Krishna has elaborated about karma yoga. Jnana, he talks about jnana. He talks about the Atma Gyan in the second chapter, from verses 12 to 30. And then he talks about Buddhi Yoga. That is also Jnana. Buddhi means what? Jnana. And then he speaks about Hatha Yoga in the sixth chapter and was explained in the eighth chapter. Eventually, so all kinds of yogis, whether he's a Karma Yogi, whether he's a Jnana Yogi, or whether he's an Ashtanga Yogi, which includes the Hatha Yogi, has to attain devotional perfection in Bhakti Yoga. As we said, whether it is karma or whether it is jnana, if it is devoid of bhakti, it is not going to give salvation or the ultimate result. So has to attain devotional perfection in Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness, before they can go to Krishna's transcendental abode and never return. Those who attain the highest material planets, the planets of the demigods, which are the Swarglokas, and the other, there are 7 planets which are higher than the earth. But everywhere they are subjected to repeated birth and death. A person on earth are elevated to higher planets. People on higher planets such as Brahmalok, Chandralok, and Indralok fall down to earth. Prabhupada used to give one example, like if you have a bank account and in your bank account you have 1 million rupees and you keep withdrawing from that bank account, what will happen one day? It will be empty. So how do you go to the higher planets? By performing some punya, pious deeds. You cannot go to the higher planets by taking a spacecraft. That is not possible. What craft is required? Punya craft. If you perform pious activity. But if you go there, whatever pious activity you have done, so whatever pious credit you have, it will be exhausted. And when it is exhausted, then you have to again come down. You have to come back. So Prabhupada is saying, that in such planets as Brahmalok, Chandralok, and Indralok fall down to earth. The practice of sacrifice called Panch Agni Vidya, recommended in the Chandogya Upanishad, enable one to achieve Brahmalok. But if on Brahmalok one does not cultivate Krishna consciousness, then he must return to earth. So why not cultivate here? Cultivate now. And instead of going to Brahmalok, we go to Krishna Lok directly. Those who progress in Krishna consciousness on the higher planets are gradually elevated to higher and higher planets, and at the time of universal devastation are transferred to the eternal spiritual kingdom. So you see, this material world is called Ashashvatam. Abhi humne padha, it is Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. Why Ashashvatam? Because it comes into being and it gets destroyed. तो इसका डेट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चर भी है, उसका डेट ऑफ एक्सपायरी भी है. तो उसका डेट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चर क्या है? ब्रह्मा जी बर्थ. जब ब्रह्मा जी का बर्थ होता है, उनका दिन शुरू होता है, तो ये सृष्टि की क्रिएशन बिगिंस. एक भक्त बहुत अच्छा बता रहे थे, लैपटॉप है, आप क्या करते हैं जब आप